Good afternoon and welcome to this special orientation session on Indian polity. I am SHAHAJI, your mentor at Perspective Academy, and for next few months I will be guiding you to go through Indian polity in your UPSC and MPSC preparation. In today's class, we will simply study how to study Indian polity. Here we will see how Indian polity matters in UPSC and MPSC preparation. There will be, so we will study how Indian polity will matter in your MPSC and UPSC preparation. Let's begin. So Indian polity. Why Indian polity is important? Here, because Indian polity is a key subject in your GS. Here, it is mainly consists in GS syllabus and makes up a major portion of your GS paper 1. More than 100 marks are allocated to Indian polity subject. It helps in essay, interview, and as well as it overlaps with your optional preparation like political science and international relations. It builds awareness about your Indian constitution and governance structure, and it helps also in your overall personality development. Next, we also know that MPSC has changed our syllabus. That is, MPSC is now came with new descriptive pattern like UPSC. Earlier objective type question, that is multiple choice question, are replaced by descriptive questions. Now this change question or change nature of question test your understanding of concept, your critical thinking or your logical analysis or analytical thinking. Clear? Now you should give a strong focus on your constitution and current events to write your answers in the mains exam. Clear? It requires structure and smart answer writing, and to write smart answers you should have a conceptual clarity. Clear? This is the main need of the hour to study new descriptive pattern. Next, how you will teach. Clear? In our class we will teach all topics with clear explanation and with simple example, and we will use real life examples in our teaching. Here, use of real life examples, simple explanation of case studies which are related to our syllabus. If there is some report judgment which is related to our UPSC exams or UPSC preparation, then that will be studied in the class with simple explanation. Next, GS2 syllabus. In GS2 we will cover preamble, fundamental rights, directive principles, president, prime minister, center-state relations, election commission, municipality, Panchayat Raj. This is the broad topics of GS2 Indian polity, and we will cover all these topics in detail in classroom. Next is key political concept. Just a demo, I will teach you one political concept, that is nation state and nation state. Many of the students and people have very confusion in nation state and nation state concept. These are three different concepts and we should not confuse with each other. Okay. Nation is different from state and state is different from nation, and these two are different from nation state. Clear? So let's study in detail nation state, nation and nation state. Clear? First, state. What is state? A state is a political legal entity with defined territory and sovereignty. And unlike state, nation is a group of people who have common culture, common history and common language. Clear? State consists of 4 elements: territory, population, government and sovereignty. These 4 elements are part of state and not nation. Nation have some elements which are common to that group, that is race, religion, language, culture and history. When we define nation, we see what is common, and when we define state, we see 4 criteria or 4 elements of state, that is territory, population, government and sovereignty. The combination of nation and state makes nation state, which is a state whose population mostly belong to one nation. Means a nation state has a territory and also has a common national identity. Clear? Combination of political authority and national identity. Right? It consists of all four events of state and cultural unity of single nation. Means features of state as well as nation. Clear? The focus area of state is law and order and governance, and focus area of nation is culture, values and emotional unity. Yeah. So the example of state is India as a political structure. Yeah. And the example of nation is as you know, in Middle East there are groups called as Kurds and Palestinians in recent Israel-Palestine conflict. These are nations without defined territory. These are nations, but they don't have a defined territory, sovereignty or government. So that's why we call them as a nation. And the combination of both state and nation, the example is Japan, France and Iceland. Yeah. These are nation state. The first nation state in the history is France. France is called as the first nation state. Clear? So I will ask you one question: is India a nation state or not? The answer is no. India is in the process of becoming nation state and not completely nation state. India is a state. India has a group of nations within it, like Maharashtra, Karnataka, Tamil Nadu, Andhra Pradesh. These states have their unique culture. They share their, for example, Maharashtra has a common culture, common language, common history. Tamil Nadu has a common culture, common language, common history. So these are nations in themselves. So India is called as group of nations and not nation state. So India is a state but not nation state. Clear? But we can call India as a group of nations, different nations, like different states. Right? So a state can exist without nation. Right? There can be a defined territory, government, sovereignty and population, like India. And nation also can exist without state, like a Kurd and Palestine. So to become nation state, you have to be both, that is state and nation. Means India is a state and not nation state. So this is a concept that state, nation and nation state are different concepts. Clear? Next is MPSC answer writing. Clear? How to write answers in new descriptive pattern. For example, here is a question: how does the Supreme Court protect the Constitution? Clear? Then how to write this answer? First, start with introduction, simple introduction of 2 to 3 lines. Then mention related articles of Supreme Court which protects Indian Constitution, and then give famous court judgments related to questions. Right? And then add simple current example which threatens Indian Constitution and Supreme Court tried to protect Indian Constitution, and end with balanced conclusion. Clear? Here is the structure of your answer. Clear? And this contains introduction, main body and conclusion. Clear? Every answer should contain introduction, main body and conclusion. So this is the simplest and easy format to write answers, any answers and of any subjects. Yeah. Next is some common questions of students. What should I read first, NCERTs or Lakshmikant? Or how to remember articles easily? How to use newspapers for polity? And should I practice writing from the first day? Here, these are critical questions students face in the preparation of their exam. First, if you want to read NCERT, you can read. If you do not want to read NCERT, it is fine. We will cover all basic in our class. Clear? You can directly start with Lakshmikant. And how to remember articles? First thing is, you don't have to remember all 450 plus articles in the Constitution. Yeah. And you just have to remember 50 to 60 articles in total 50 to 60 articles in your preparation. Right? So there will be trick we will going to discuss in the class. So how to remember some of the articles and not all. Right? And how to use newspaper for polity section. This also will be covered in the class. And last and most important question is, how should I practice writing from the first day? This is very important question. Why? Because at first day, on first day you don't know anything. So to write answer, you have to know something. Clear? So the basic first step is to know something or collect data collection, or gather some information about that topic. Then start writing answers. Right? So don't write answers or don't practice answer writing from first day. Right? You should first gather information and then start writing. Right? Next, why perspective academy? Simple. Expert faculty with experience, regular lectures, regular lectures, and complete syllabus coverage. Doubt solving in class, after class, whenever you want, you can call, message, and you can meet personally in class. You will be given notes, MCQs, descriptive questions for practice, and revision test, weekly, monthly revision test. There. Next, keep in the mind, Lok Sevachi तयारी means preparation of exam is understood only after लोकशाही तयारी लोकशाही समजून घेतल्यावरच होते. Keep in this mind. Clear आहे?